everybody, Rockfarmer here and welcome to TerraTech, where today we are going to be making some serious changes to this base here. Unfortunately, I don't think the game can handle this many blocks on screen all the time, and I'm getting some performance issues. I have these lag spikes all the time and I don't like it. And I don't think building on a diagonal was actually a very good idea because I'm using more blocks than necessary to run my walls. It will be much better to build a square where the blocks are, flat like here in a straight line. And instead of using all these small blocks, I want to use the big boy blocks. So I take up less blocks in the game. It doesn't have to keep track of that many. And I want to build a little bit smaller as well, because I get all this flickering all the time. The anti-aliasing in the game is not super good. So I don't know about you, but I'm kind of sensitive to this thing here that happens on the wall, all that flickering. Kind of bugs me, and what you realize is there's like a critical distance where it changes a lot. So I figured like if I have my blocks a little closer, it won't be as bad either. So it's basically a redo of the whole thing. And then we're gonna have to do some crafting to make all the big boy blocks, obviously. So I gotta set up a system for that as well. Now in the previous episode, I ended with a bunch of resources up on this rack here. And I asked if anybody could guess how much it was gonna be if I sold it, and I got a few guesses there. So I'll run that time lapse now and we'll see how much money it was. I'll see you back here in a minute. Alright, welcome back. If I'm not mistaken, that was about 85,000. And as you can see, I've actually spent some of that money already on different things. And I'm just preparing for the big teardown right now. I've already done the other side of the base here, but I don't have enough SCU units to do the whole thing. So I'm just placing down a bunch and then I'm gonna go around and tear it down. So let's see here, we have a cabin there, I think. Yep, and we put him there and tear down the block he's on, and you get that fun effect of everything being torn down. It doesn't really bother me anymore doing it. It's I'm so used to it. I think like TerraTech has this ability, like you get an idea and you try to make it work, and then it sort of kind of works, and then suddenly you're like, nah, I want to try something else. So I built myself a tech here in the middle on a rotating anchor. And I built it out to the build limit in one direction. And when I put a cab on it, I can spin it around. Sorry, the camera is going to get a little wonky there. But as I do that, I can place new anchors and align them to the direction of that. So I know that all the anchors are pointing in the same way, in towards the middle here, and they're all just about the same distance away from this pole. And now I can align blocks to these things here and set up a new perimeter and get an idea for how big this base is going to be. I already have some idea here, and it does feel a little cramped, but I don't know, maybe it's going to work. We'll see. I'll get building. So how do you like it? I think it's actually working out pretty well. I made a little compartment for each tech so far. And I've also left this middle thing here in case I need to use it one more time. I don't know yet. Eventually I will remove it. But the idea is you can park your techs in here now, and like if you put an anchor behind it, it won't roll away, which all know some techs have a tendency to do that. So anyway, enough of the base building. I've been, it's actually the next day right now, and I've been working on something different over here. This is my fabricating tower. The idea here is I want to have a landing platform up on top. Not just a landing platform, but basically a bunch of receivers. And then I can use my little flying harvester to haul materials, and there will be a platform that I fly over, and it will suck all the materials down, and they will come down these two conveyor belts here. And you see how they connect together? Because I think storing all the resources is going to be very time consuming, or resource consuming. It creates a lot of lag, as I saw last time. So instead, what I'm thinking when I'm fabricating now is I want to scrap the items that I need for the main resources, such as like plumbite and titanite and stuff that you can get in fairly large quantities. And basically, if I'm building a specific item, I will add the resources that I need for building them. For example, it could be, I don't know, something like this, plumbite and rhodite. And then it would filter that out into these two pads here, and then they could go straight into the fabricators over there. Now, sometimes you do have that, like the specialty blocks, like the celestite and the ignite, and you need one or two of each. Those you might practically want to store, but I think because I enjoy flying so much, I think I just want to have that as I'll go get those resources myself. Like you can see, I have my tech over here, and right now I don't have anywhere to drop them off, but he's basically just a harvester that you can fly in over and very gently just either you drive into them, or even more fun, you can sort of just land on them, and they will, well, if I could land. Oh, he disappeared, that's why. So you get all these resources. Yeah, this guy here is not perfect. I want to change him up a little bit. Probably make a larger version. I have an attempt at it over there, but I'm not happy with that one either. But the idea is you just have that hanging under your like entrails or something, and you just fly over and everything gets dropped off on the resource pads, and you can just go out and say, oh well, good, I'm done with celestite, I'm gonna go get some erudite or whatever I'm needing. Because you don't always need a lot of these blocks, and whatever you're crafting will typically take one of these. So if I have all the bulk items stored on those pads there, and I just add these over time, it should be fine, I think. So after they all come down here, things get sorted there, and the fabricators I will have here. I need to figure out exactly how I'm gonna put this this Hawkeye fabricator, maybe something like that, but then he spits the item out on the side, and oh, that might be fine. Maybe I'll just leave it like this. On the back side here, I want to build like a scrapper room. So I have all the scrappers here because when I'm crafting something in particular, I want to have all the scrappers available so I can just scrap whatever items I need. I do have a list of every recipe in the game now. I will leave a link to a forum thread in where I've posted it so you can download it if you want it. And you can take it from there. I put it in the description here. And So when I want to craft something, actually, let me do this. I'm going to build this up and I'm going to show you how it works when I start crafting here in a minute. I'll be right back. Alright, it's getting somewhere now. I did some small changes. I ended up using 3 of the collector pads here, or the silos, and I added a filter on each block to drain it if I have to, because if you're crafting something and you have too many resources to spare, you know, these might get filled up with old resources from previous stuff, and if you just go in and you filter everything, it will go back in the sell loop and it will be sold over there. I've also set up a conveyor system in the back for scrapping, and I lifted up a loop around here so all the scrapping items will come up on the back row here. It's so hard to see now because the tech is getting big, and it will go around and it will meet up with the general input line here. So the resources will come down and you can filter down all the resources you need. And if you need to drain it, you can drain it, and then you can just set it to craft. And right now it's the perfect example, because I only had 3 of these collector pads and I'm gonna fill everything up with them. And in order to craft those, we need Columbia ingots, titania ingots, and celestian crystals. This is the perfect example of what you need to do. So from my recipes, I know that if I take a jaws wheel, I get titania ingots and I get plumbia ingots. So I'm gonna scrap a bunch of those, and I'm gonna program this panel here to take, we're gonna need plumbia ingots, we're gonna need titania ingots, and we're gonna need celestite shards and probably the celestite or crystals as well if we have those, but both of those will be part of the recipe. I could also go ahead and make plumbite ore and titania ore, titanite ore, just in case I find that. So now I have the system programmed, and I will have this one create those indefinitely. And then I can go to the back here and dump off a bunch of these geocore wheels here, the jaws wheel. And I should put a fence around here to just keep everything contained. But I'll do that, and that's gonna fill up all the things it needs there. And in the meantime, I'm gonna take my little tech here and go and harvest some celestite here and there, wherever I can find. I wonder if these actually respawned or if they are still just kind of glitchy. Oh, it seems like they respawned. Good. Well, one of them anyway. Good. Let's get this stuff over here. Can pick that little thing up there. Yep. And I'll take you. I also added a bunch of whoa, what's going on over there? I also added a bunch of wireless chargers underneath the platform here. Oops. Because something like this is going to take quite a beating as it's bouncing around on blocks, so it's important to have it charged all the time. Well, maybe it can't handle as much as I want to feed it at the moment. That's good to know. Just have to be a little more careful with how many items to feed it, because it does throw things around a lot, as you see there. It's another one of my pet peeves in the game is the sound of the wireless charges constantly. It's just driving me nuts. So I have a couple of pet peeves, and I actually, if you ever go to the TerraTech forums, I put a thread in there for all the things that I find annoying that are like small things that you might not think about, but get really frustrating over time. Anyway, let's see how many we've made now. So let's go in here to the manufacturing. We've made 6. Excellent. And I can just start filling this in. And then I'll go and, yeah, we'll get a bunch more, but I might as well go out and get some more solistite in the meantime. Yeah, this harvester is a little heavy still. It would maneuver significantly more. Significantly quicker if I added another propeller to it, and then I could even put some beefier drills on it. But you get the idea here. I can set up the harvesting down there, and then I just go over and collect the resources that I need, just land on top of them and plow down. Because often you really just need a couple of these. You know, you don't need to fill up an entire truck with stuff. You can go and you can be nitpicky with a harvester like this. You go get the stuff that you need. And I think it looks really cool when stuff is just kind of dangling underneath there. So yeah, this is gonna be so much fun. I can't wait to see what else I'm gonna craft and how it's actually gonna work out. For now, I'm just excited that it seems like it's actually working well. Good, nothing left behind. And there we go. Automated crafting without significant amounts of lag, and a flying harvester that I'm gonna have to go ahead and, yeah, I'm gonna make some runs, but I think this is gonna be so much fun. I love flying in this game. It's challenging, it's really quirky from time to time, but so much fun. And whenever I get bored, I can always just go out and say, oh well, what am I gonna do? Well, if I have nothing better to do, I can just fly out and practice my flying and collect some expensive resources that I can bring home and sell. You know, just go around and pick up the stuff that I want here. And hopefully not start a war with that whole gang over there. So, just like that. As the sun goes down, I hope you enjoyed this video here. I will take a snapshot of this tech and I will share it out. And you guys can find it on the forums or find it on Twitter. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed. Leave a like if you did, and don't forget to subscribe if you're not. This has been Rockfarmer. Have a nice day. Bye.